Wait! We slide for Quartermaster. Hello? That's what you get for taking Quartermaster! So Mark, who are you? Says the reptilian reporter forgets her internals. I am the Quartermaster, Mark Byers states. I help earn funds for the station. Which is true. On every station, departments need stuff, and that stuff has to be ordered, transported, and delivered. The cargo department fulfills that demand, but stuff costs money, which is where cargo's second job comes in, bounties. Bounties are lists of items that, if sold by cargo, grant substantial funds to them. Mark Byers is the Quartermaster of the cargo department, meaning he spearheads the operation of earning the station money. Oh, I know you're the Quartermaster, but who are you? Who is Mark? Mark Byers takes a second to internalize what she just asked. He finally replies, I'm just a lizard that likes to do their job. After the exhaustive interview, Forgets Her Internals asks Mark Byers her closing question. Do you have anything you'd like to add or would like people to know about you? Apparently this question, posing to be more difficult than the self-reflection one, leaves Mark Byers speechless, eventually leading him to just say, I think that's all. Shift time is 25 minutes, and Mark Byers, after walking the reporter out of the cargo department, continues his work on the space station. What, were you expecting a banger intro? Mark Byers chilling at cargo gets a visit from a security officer, Max Cady. Max Cady informs him that he's wanted by security, and that instead of arresting him, Max Cady just tells Byers to clear it all up at the security department. So Mark Byers heads over there. Apparently Mark Byers, the Quartermaster, was set as wanted because he was handing flashes to cargo technicians, which Mark Byers informs was for bounties. So good on the security department for wasting people's time. Classic security. Mark Byers, arriving back to his department, catches a glimpse of a menacing-looking ship flying away from his cargo shuttle. Unsure of what it is, he assumes syndicates and just carries on with his duties. Shift time is 32 minutes. Mark Byers begins piloting the shuttle intended to dock at ATS, or the Automated Trade-In Station. This is the station where cargo delivers and receives their shipments. He is accompanied by Carenza Morgan, a reptilian chemist. He's only coming with because he wants to pick up his plushies that he supposedly ordered. I don't know. After docking at ATS, the menacing ship he saw earlier docks on his shuttle. Panicking, Mark Byers bolts the glass door behind him and begins piloting his shuttle towards the space station. But since the mysterious ship is still docked with him, it's difficult for him to maneuver the shuttle. Boarding onto the shuttle is a crew of skeletons wearing pirate garbs. Two of them demand Mark Byers open the wind door, while another two deal with the reptilian chemist, before one of them, a Sacrum Brinnig, almost slices the chemist to death. The Skelly pirates capture both the chemist and the Quartermaster, strip them of their belongings and possessions, and dump them into the ship's brig alongside one cargo technician. The other was released. Trapped inside brig, Mark Byers' fate is left to people outside his cell, to both the enemy pirates and his allies back at the space station. With nothing for Mark Byers to do, a singular question lingers at the back of his mind. What now? To Strike Team E7, Ashvane, from Admiral Soren Steele, Aft Bridge, Vengeance.
To those I trust with the blade and breach, this sector's station has been marked by the Crimson Council. Your task is simple. Capture all of their heads of staff, alive, and secure them aboard the Worm's Wake. That means the captain, head of personnel, chief engineer, chief medical officer, research director, and the head of security, alive. This is not a slaughter. Spare the lives of their crew as best as you can, but use what force you must. Cut through your opposition, but don't lose the prize. Values in the leadership. Breathing and bound. You're not just taking prisoners, you're taking control. Show them what happens when the council points its blade.
First, let's go back to the start of the station shift and talk about the Skelly pirate gang. It consists of 5 pirates. 1. Captain Olna Huey, a middle-aged skeleton. She leads the gang. 2. Vertebrae Strobel, a middle-aged skeleton. 3. Ribs N, a young skeleton. 4. Sternum Jogs, a middle-aged skeleton. And 5. Sacrum Brinnig, the young skeleton that sliced the chemist. Captain Olna receives a paper from her fax machine and instructs her crewmates to gather for a meeting. Sacrum Brinnig says,
"It doth appear that we are prepared. Yar, crew, yar, gather round. I'll read off the high command orders."
And thus the captain begins her speech.
We're being entrusted with a blatant breach. This section station has been marked by the Crimson Council. Our task be to capture all the heads of the stuff alive. Yar, make sure they aren't fish food. Yar, alive. You tough feet. This isn't a slaughter. We could spare the lives of the crew as best as we can, but use force as necessary.
With the captain's speech concluded, the gang prepared their equipment in order to begin interception between cargo and the ATS. Sternum Jogs asks,
Yar, we're getting Quartermaster first.
Captain Olna answers,
Yar, Quartermaster first.
So the gang FTLs towards the ATS, hoping to intercept the Quartermaster in travel between ATS and the station. The captain, who's piloting the shuttle, sees on her radar the cargo shuttle docking onto ATS, and decides to strike by docking onto the cargo shuttle. Tim Bunyam is a cargo technician, one of many working under the Quartermaster Mark Byers. He's doing his job selling crates containing bounties at ATS. The skelly pirates rush into ATS and immediately surround the cargo technician. Tim, with nothing to defend himself with, is at the pirates' mercy.
Where be the Quartermaster?
Asks Vertebrae Strobel. Tim answers, likely honestly, no clue. The pirates, realizing the Quartermaster did not travel alongside Tim, decide to imprison him. Oh no, why? Exclaims Tim Bunyam. After being imprisoned, Sternum Jogs shows a little compassion towards the now brigged Tim.
Yar. Okay, so I'll give you some food and water.
Says Sternum. Well, at least I don't starve.
Of course.
Meanwhile, Captain Olna, Ribs Ann, and Vertebrae Strobel, having control of the cargo shuttle, docks at the station's cargo bay, intending to find Quartermaster there. Max Cady informs him that he's wanted by security, and that instead of arresting him, Max Cady just tells Byers to clear it all up at the security department. So Mark Byers heads over there. Instead, the pirates find Max Cady and Celeste Morris. Celeste Morris gets immediately stunned down. Max Cady, instantly understanding the power of these newfound pirates, starts running away and ducks under a stun bolt. Out in space, Max Cady, instead of going back to security to warn the other Sekoffs and arm with better weapons, decides to engage the pirates with just an MK-58. Let's talk about stunning real quick. We've talked about slipping and how it causes you to drop items held in hands. But there's another level to incapacitation. You know, apart from literally killing someone.
Killing people is making the world a better place.
Stamina loss. Batons and disablers do this job. Being hit with either depletes your stamina, and losing all your stamina causes you to be stunned and incapacitated, opening you to being cuffed or getting swiftly executed. But there's something special about the Skelly Pirate gang though. They have tasers, but not just ordinary tasers. These tasers cause stamina loss, and it does so instantly. This means the pirates have a huge advantage. Instead of risking a gunfight, they can just insta-stun anyone, immediately ending even the possibility of a genuine battle. So, the fight lasted approximately 3 seconds before Max got stunned down. He gets cuffed and stripped down to literally nothing. Celeste too is here, ready to be dumped into brig alongside Tim. Max Cady demands to be executed by the pirates and is denied his request. Death before dishonor. It's not too much. Max Cady states before killing himself by biting his own tongue. Both Celeste Morris and the corpse of Max Cady are dragged to the pirate ship. The pirates boarding back onto their shuttle start flying away from the cargo docks. In the distance, the Quartermaster Mark Byers can be seen, gazing at the shuttle that just took 2 of his own employees, and soon after, him. There is a subsection of cargo that hasn't yet been discussed. Yeah, they work under the Quartermaster, but aren't cargo technicians. Salvage specialists. They usually mine asteroids in space for resources to deposit back at the station. And they also... You ever played that game Hard Space Shipbreaker? They also do things similar to that sometimes. Salvage specialists are a more unique role, as in, since they spend most of their time in space, they generally aren't bound to follow in the station's authority. So salvage specialists tend to acquire and possess illegal items. The salvage team consists of 3 people. 1. Walm Ermeyer, a middle-aged human. 2. Omen Blessig, another middle-aged human. And 3. Throws the Redills, a young reptilian. Eventually, a Borg 2 would join the salvage crew, a very serious bot, Silicon 9181. So for most of the shift, the salvage specialists do their usual thing, build a shuttle so they can fly around space, explore derelict ships, pocket any interesting items, such as this laser gun which is being picked up by Omen Blessing, purchase genuine shotguns that kill people, and explore abandoned bases on planets. Shift time is 36 minutes, 4 minutes after the capture of Mark Byers. The salvage crew are docked at ATS preparing for the next salvaging session when the cargo shuttle suddenly docks with them. A man walks out wearing Quartermaster clothing named Carl Neldit. Oh wait, that's me! Let's rewind the clock a bit. I am a simple passenger. I do my usual thing. I go to Hop to ask for accesses that I most definitely should not have. 3 things. 3 things and I'm gone forever. First, externals. Second, theater. Third... And I'm going to say something real quick. Canonically, Carl Neldon is more charismatic than the usual person on Space Station 14. Here's this old video I made talking about this. I really do have like fucking max charisma stat in this game. I've been noticing that people really like don't want to fucking go after me if I just speak to them. Break into like places and I steal shit and I just talk to them for a few minutes and they're like, okay, you can go now. You see, Carl Neldon, if given the chance, has good odds of talking himself into getting what he wants. Social manipulation is a great tool in his/my repertoire. So shift time is 33 minutes. I hear the news of Mark Byers being captured by so-called pirates, and I, having interacted with Mark Byers earlier in the shift, run into the cargo department alongside Krevis Gingoid, the station captain, who's dressed like they're on a vacation at Hawaii, I don't know. I start campaigning for the recovery of our beloved Mark Byers. Not Mark Byers, no! I yelled. While I yelled this, Chuck Mulder, a cargo technician, attempts an assassination on the station captain's life. Chuck Mulder downright fails so hard at killing the captain, they fucking kill themselves instead. Anyway, from this incident, I grabbed the machete dropped by Chuck Mulder when he exploded himself, and to continue my campaign to rescue Mark Byers. This is when I notice a Quartermaster's office has been opened, and I let myself in to change my apparel to a more appropriate Quartermaster saving attire. Inside the Quartermaster's office is a console that pilots the cargo shuttle remotely. So I pilot the cargo shuttle to the cargo docks in order to find Mark Byers myself. In the cargo shuttle is Tim Bunyip. If you remember, the pirates released Tim as a sort of message. So I questioned the now released Tim for information of where the pirates could be. I call for security officer Lola Zimmers to come along with me, and I patiently wait for Lola before a young scientist moth person named Althea Moondancer hops onto the cargo shuttle and screams, "Cargo, where is the plasma?" Everyone but me and Althea hop off the shuttle, and Althea, needing her plasma for science reasons I presume, forcefully takes control of the shuttle and pilots it to ATS to pick up her plasma. I judge her saying, "All you want is plasma." Greed. And at this point now, we're back at where we left off. Me and Althea Moondancer meeting the salvage specialists. The salvage specialists don't have a good reaction to seeing me walk in with Quartermaster's clothing. They think I'm impersonating the Quartermaster. And since the salvagers are also knowledgeable of Mark Byers' capture, they believe I am the perpetrator of it. Before leaving, both Redills and Walm get an idea. Wait! We slide for Quartermaster, shouts Walm Ermeyer. The 3 grab their respective weapons and head back to ATS. Back to me. I'm just chilling in the cargo shuttle, intending to head back to the station to pick up Lola Zimmers. This is when I notice Walm walk in and I say, "Hello." That's what you get for taking Quartermaster! Just try, you'll find it on Majesty. You call me Andre, I'm bound. That's where the sirens sleep. All common days are white. In my mind now chrome screen. The only color is one that breaks the sea. Shift time is 39 minutes. Omen starts taking my stuff and notices the machete. Althea does not really care what happened. She dismisses me dying saying, "Good job." He called me greedy. I barely get a few words out before dying. I was trying to find Quartermaster, you fucks. The Borg haven't heard this, relays the information to the salvage specialists. And soon after, they realize they've just killed an innocent passenger. Nothing changed after what they just did. The real threat is about to dock right next to them. The second Omen blessing says loan up. The long and brutal battle between blood and bone commences. First, let's follow Throws the Redills. He immediately gets stunned down and drops his enforcer. They're killing my boys! He yells into security communications. Assuming his friends are a lost cause, he pilots the shuttle back to the station. Now, Walm Airmire. He follows Omen Blessig out into space but sees Redills getting swarmed, so he goes back inside to shoot at Sacrum and Vertebrae. Vertebrae retaliates by stunning Walm down, and when he's about to get cuffed, the Borg, very serious bot, saves him, allowing Walm to continue his fight. With Very Serious Bot dismantled into raw components and Walm restrained, the fight at ATS is over. All pirates but Sacrum Brinnig are here. They note that apparently the pirate ship is both not docked at ATS and inoperable, meaning they're technically stranded at ATS. After a while, Captain Olna takes an educated guess in where the station is located and drifts off into space along with her gang of skelly pirates. Walm is spared and left at ATS. Let's change pace and follow the scientist Althea Moondancer. Her noticing shit is about to go down, picks up the machete I brought and runs at the pirates. But she wisely changes her mind and instead backs away from the action. Look, I'm just here for the plasma, she declares to the pirates, whose attention are focused towards the Salvagers that are trying to kill them. She crawls to the shuttle console and slowly starts piloting the cargo shuttle back to the station with the pirate ship still docked. Getting close enough to the cargo docks, Althea, instead of heading back to the safety of the station, goes into the pirate ship and calls Sacrum Brinnig a bastard just to get herself killed by a goddamn cannonball. What did you think was gonna happen, buddy? Omen Blessig, seeing the pirates dock, immediately heads out into space and shoots at Sacrum through the window with his laser blaster. He then permanently disables the pirate ship's flight controls by destroying the shuttle console in the bridge. He afterwards maneuvers around the pirate shuttle and starts unwrenching the ship's thrusters, further preventing mobilization of the ship. Sacrum Brinnig, who's still in the shuttle, sees Omen Blessig unwrenching the thrusters and goes out into space to fight. At this point, Althea is piloting both the cargo and pirate shuttle. Sacrum misses her cannonball shot at Omen, instead producing a hole in the hull of which Omen breaks into, offering him a place of quick respite. Sacrum flies at Omen, and now the real fight begins. Sacrum, I guess getting bored of fighting, decides to end it by instantly stunning Omen and killing him off with a flurry of punches. Omen, in critical condition, drifting off into the forever space, is written off as permanently dead with virtually no hope of recovery. So then, at this point in the story, you might be wondering, what happened to Thy brig! No! Screams Carenza Morgan, the reptilian chemist. I don't want to eat the mice-infested bricks!
We'll get real food,
clarifies Sternum Jogs. Oh, Ooh, never mind then. In the brig is Celeste Morris, Mark Byers, and the corpse of Max Cady. Celeste mentions, ain't even anything to make a shiv with in here. Mark thinks for a second, then notices a single light bulb in the room and points to it. If he could smash it, he'd be able to produce glass, allowing them to craft a shiv. The problem is that the bulb is too hot to touch with bare hands, and neither have gloves. That is until Carenza arrived. Mark Byers, noticing Carenza's gloves, immediately starts taking it off the chemist and begins his plan to produce a makeshift shiv. He takes the bulb and throws it, turning the incandescent bulb into a shard of glass. The lights! Quartermaster! Carenza, unenlightened to QM's plan, yells. Mark Byers cuts up a prisoner jumpskirt, producing cloth, which is then used in the crafting of the makeshift shiv.
They be making shivs.
Ribs Ann realizes. The pirates understand though that none of the prisoners would even stand a chance against their superior non-makeshift weapons. Mark Byers, now holding a shiv, begins to wait patiently. I have a shiv, he whispers to his fellow crewmates. Nice! Ribs Ann quickly runs into brig to replace the light, letting the prisoners see again. Light! We go full British when they come back in. Shift time is 38 minutes. The pirates discover Mark Byers' requisition digiboard, a unique handheld device intended to be safely kept by the Quartermaster. The digiboard allows the ordering of various cargo from virtually anywhere, bypassing the bulky and affixed cargo request computers. The pirates, also realizing the station's cargo budget is plentiful, decide to head to ATS in order to utilize the digiboard, presumably to order weapons and necessary ship supplies. Mark Byers takes the recently placed bulb out of its socket and starts the shiv making process again. Sternum notes,
They be making shivs in there.
the shift time is 39 minutes and we've arrived at chapter 4's starting point. Mark Byers starts freaking out. He's hearing gunshots and doesn't understand what's occurring outside his cell. Eventually, he encounters Lola Zimmers outside in space, and both acknowledge each other. Carenza then informs Mark that the window can be broken with his shiv, so Mark gets to work. Lola flies back to the window of the cargo docks to inform a group of security officers that have formed at this point to prepare for combat. We want out! Yells Mark Byers, shortly before Sacrum Brinnig kills Althea Moondancer with a cannonball shot. Now, this cannonball shot actually instantly shattered the reinforced plasma window, allowing the release of the now escapees. Celeste is the first to run out, immediately grabbing Max Cady's security hardsuit and a disabler. Sacrum, heading back into the ship, sees Celeste and starts beating them to critical condition. Mark Byers uses the darkness to his advantage and stealthily pounces onto the dropped disabler and actually hits his shots, resulting in the stunning of Sacrum Brinnig. Lola Zimmers arrives on scene with an MK-58, but is hesitant to commit herself to combat. Mark Byers' fatal mistake occurs right here. He could have ran towards safety. He just saw Lola Zimmers there, but he desired for something else, something other than freedom. He wanted to kill the pirate that imprisoned him and his crewmates. So in other words, he wanted Mark Byers continues his pursuit of Sacrum Brinnig and, after stunning her a second time, begins his shanking, but it's not enough. Sacrum flees and closes the door behind her, locking Byers in the hallway. He notices a cutlass and switches his shit shiv with it. Carenza Morgan finally leaves the cell and takes Max Cady's hardsuit from the dying Celeste. Lola Zimmer, alongside the group of security officers, finally head inside of the ship, and Mark Byers, upon seeing them, calls for help. The shift time is 44 minutes, and the second major battle of this shift is about to begin. The other 4 Skelly pirates, after leaving Walton Airmeyer at the ATS, had head straight for the station by simply drifting to it. Now for this next battle, I'm not going to commentate between the pirates and security, but it should be easy to guess who will win here. It was a swift victory for the pirates. You might have noticed someone was missing in the action. Quartermaster Morgan. Right when the fight started, he immediately played dead in the shadows. After the fight, he crawled over to a lector and continues to wait in the corner. Let's go back to the beginning of the fight. Mark Byers witnesses his fellow crewmates get slaughtered, and so he starts breaking out at the other side of the hallway.
QM.
Ribs and announces. Mark Byers starts freaking out. He knows he's fucked once the Scully pirates get a line of fire on him. One of the pirates opens the door and he makes a dash, but instead of heading out of the airlock, out into the safety of his station, he runs into the maintenance room of the shuttle. Now, a badass cutlass fight is about to occur before the captain simply insta-stuns him and ends his escape. Quartermaster Morgan both courageously attempts to run and fire for his life to safety, and cowardly leaves the quartermaster behind to the hands of the pirates. He makes it to the station and repeats, "They all died! 2 pirates! They all died!" The pirate gang have dominance over their shuttle again. Captain Olna goes to steal the cargo shuttle's console. G-Bar, a security officer, encounters Captain Olna and they have a gunfight. Captain Olna, after successfully suppressing G-Bar, retrieves the console. Mark Byers is now again imprisoned, this time all alone. He now truly has no possibility of escape. And you know, I could continue telling this story, the uneventful and lackluster downfall of this infamous skeleton pirate gang, or how I got revived and attempted a continuation of rescuing Mark Byers before eventually giving up. I'm sorry, Mark Byers. Tried to save you, couldn't be done. But the story ends here. Mark Byers, stuck in his cell, will slowly suffocate in this abandoned pirate ship. His last-minute decision to take revenge on the pirates was the last mistake he'd ever make. He will die, and he did die. He died alone. Hey kids, you like this video and maybe also the video previous to this? You want to watch more SS14 content with actual entertaining commentary? Okay, I'm outside! Hey, buddy, that's crazy. Let me out. Oh, easy. Easy defuse. It's a fucking training bomb. How many fucking Oh, well, maybe subscribe or follow me on Twitch. I promise to actually stream. Sorry this video took so long to make. Next video in 2 weeks. I promise. Probably not. It's not gonna happen.